Epic Dog Bros TV, the #1 place for dog training education. Do I have any questions or anything like that from anybody here?
I have a question.
I have an answer.
I didn't work on that sit up, but I haven't done that before.
Yeah.
So I was working on that, so I just get further and further away and give good command.
Okay, so her question was about working the puppy push-up, like up and down, up and down. Everything starts close, and we have to build upon that with the dog. Sit, down, take a step back. Sit, down, and then you keep going. And you keep going. A park like this, where there's other dogs and other people, distraction. And so what you have to do is you have to proof the dog out with all of the distractions, so that way you know no matter where it is that you go, dog does it. Like Olaf, right? He's been sitting there. I had to look over there and make sure he was still there. All right, any other questions? Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Listen, I have one more.
Okay, now we're talking.
So when I come home, she jumps on the door. Only me, not my husband. If someone's home, what should my husband do?
You come home around the same time?
I'm in and out.
Okay, so what you can do then is you can call home and say, hey, I'm coming to the house. Make sure the dog has the collar on. As soon as you come to the door, off.
Okay, but my husband's doing it.
Absolutely, and then that's all you have to do. Or another thing you guys can do is those place boards. Really work the dog on the place. So that way when someone does come to your door, it's like, oh, I'm going over to the place board instead of jumping on your guests and doing all that type of stuff when people come inside your house. Any other questions? I like questions, I like answering them. Leanne, do you have a question? Are you sure? All right, so we're gonna talk about affection. So when you give your dogs too much affection, right? And what I mean by too much affection is, oh my God, my dog has separation anxiety. My dog has this. Humans create all of those problems, right? And so earlier, Leanne's dog, Triton, couldn't see mom, and dad had the dog. And it's like, oh my God, oh my God. She 100% creates that problem. So when you give your dog affection, make sure your dog is getting affection because they deserve the affection. Not, I mean, it sounds bad, but it's not a, hey, I love my dog, I'm gonna give it affection 24/7, because what you end up doing is positively reinforcing negative behaviors. Dog jumps on you, push the dog off. Dog doesn't understand push the dog off, right? If I go and I put my arm on Pete's shoulder, and he goes like this, and he kicks my arm off, I'm a human. I understand what that means, right? The dog jumps on me, I push the dog off, the dog's like, yeah, you touched me. I'm doing it again. And so that's when problems happen. We create more issues for the dog by giving the dog affection at the wrong time.
To add on to the affection thing real fast, the way that I would look at it, I have some clients who can't come here because they're a little bit elderly. By all means, they'll like sit in a chair and they'll relax, and the dogs will constantly walk up to them and initiate the affection. When you guys take your dogs home, I want you guys to think, do you initiate the affection? Like, if I'm gonna give Olaf affection for being on that place for the whole group class, I'm gonna walk over there and I'm gonna pet Olaf because he did a good job. If Triton runs to you and keeps coming to you, but you didn't say come, he's going, I want some love from mom. I'm gonna go get some love, and comes over and he's saying, I'm gonna get some love, versus you going, wow, my dog's laying down, I'm gonna go love my dog. So if you're not in control of when you're giving the dog affection and the dog is in control of it, odds are it's not the right time, and you should utilize obedience. Probably put them back on place or put them in a down, or understand there's a reason that the dog is trying to get your attention. If I was trying to get your attention, it's because I want to tell you something, I want to get you to do something, I have a question for you. There's usually a reason the dog's trying to get your attention, the same way your job is to keep your dog's attention so that way it doesn't get distracted, it's focused on you. Attention is a huge thing in dog training. So just make sure that you're keeping your dog's attention and you're the one who's in control of when you're giving it that affection, and then you're always positively reinforcing a good behavior versus accidentally enabling your dog to stay trapped in that state of mind, right? I want to personally say you guys did an awesome job today. Every single one of you was able to get to the other side. This was like an alligator pit right here. You guys literally went from there all the way down there. So this is something you guys should be practicing. A lot of you have parks like this near your house. This is California, you know, there's lots of areas. I would practice this so by the time next weekend comes, you can show off the progression you made and you can continue advancing. We are gonna set up some type of relay race. We're gonna keep advancing the training with you guys. We want that foundation to be really, really good.